Never done this before, so hopefully oh, you're all in that. How's yours, Will? On the telly, they always say, here's one I prepared earlier.
This needs to be needs something in front of that, pointed down. Otherwise it's not going to get the. Let's be about there.
We're just playing around with different phones and iPads while we're trying to set this up. So we are. I'll give you a little intro in a few moments. Obviously, we're just looking at you, and we're just going to keep talking and talking. There's a few of us here, and we're going to take it in turns, talk about different aspects of what we do. However, I can't hear you, so it's a one-way communication. So if you could message us with your questions, George will shout them out and we'll reply to you. You can email us. Actually, don't email us. It'll be a nightmare for us to return. If you could just put your messages in the comments below, we will answer straight back. I can see things popping up on my phone now, so people are actually live.
Merchant Heart said hi, guys.
Merchant Heart. We're going to talk about Merchant Heart, and it's a very, very good reason we're going to talk about Merchant Heart, because they're an important part of our business. But we will talk about probably the best tonic out there. There's nothing like it. We've served our drinks at Buckingham Palace, the Foreign Office, and we only use Merchant Heart. We won't use anything else, and we'll explain why a bit later.
Can't do it to YouTube.
YouTube won't work. No? Okay. Well, we tried to live stream on YouTube, but that's not work. Well, don't worry. We'll just do Facebook and Instagram, and if we do another one, we can obviously correct that. So, can you all hear me okay?
Give us a wave.
I hope you can. Is yours working? Is there...
Instagram's all up and running. That's all good.
I'm on Instagram.
This is all running.
Okay, this is Facebook. So lovely. Okay, cool. So...
We've got loads of thumbs up coming in.
Got thumbs up. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. Right, we'll do our little introduction. So this is our. We're at the old bakery. This building here, and I'm going to come round because I'm going to show you some photographs. Tracy will point the photographs out to you. You're going to see a derelict old building site. So if you could just put that there and just point to it, Tracy, so that they can see.
This one here.
You have to. I think that's okay. You have to bear with us because this is our first time at doing this, and it is a bit of a Fisher Price attempt. So I do accept that. So we're a bunch of plumbers. We bought this old building, which was an old wreck, an old building site, to convert into the office that it is today for our plumbing business. So why are we talking about gin? When we converted this building, which was originally a bakery over 140 years ago, we renovated the site and we removed the original bakery ovens and the bakery chimney. The chimney had trees growing up in it. It was completely unsafe. Tracy will show you a picture of the chimney. You really, really, really don't need to be an expert to see that
This one here.
it was all dodgy. It was very, very dangerous.
Over there.
Brilliant. Thanks for doing that, Tracy. So we took it all down. So that was part of the building works. We then got sued by a neighbour who genuinely took us to court, and this did go to court. This isn't some made-up marketing story. We got sued by a neighbour who said, hey, you've removed my chimney, and took me to court for removing the chimney. So we then got into this ridiculous dispute about a chimney that doesn't exist because I'd removed it. So we then had to find out the history of the place to say, was it your chimney? Was it my chimney? How did this all go wrong in the first place? Now, during that legal investigation into the history of the building, the lawyers found out that the bakers, over 100 years ago, made and sold illegal gin here on the premises. I tracked down the family descendants. Tracy will show you a photograph of a 3-year-old boy with his granddad on a penny farthing, and that picture is taken right outside the office, literally just 20 metres away, 20, 30 metres away. And you'll also see a photograph of me with a penny farthing with my little boy, who's now 3, in exactly the same location. But because I'm a Jabba the Hutt type of character, I obviously couldn't get on the penny farthing. So we tracked down the family descendants and we obtained the original gin recipe that they made here over 140 years ago. And just for fun, this is just a glorified hobby. We've got big name customers, but it really is still a glorified hobby. The plumbing is still our core business. And what we've done is we've resurrected the gin that was made here using the same 4 botanicals. Most gins have a minimum of 12 botanicals, up to, I think we're up to about 150 botanicals now. It's just madness. There's 4,000 gins. As new gins come out, they put more things in them, trying to be different. We've just kept it as simple as it could possibly be, and we're using the same 4 ingredients that the bakers used here over 100 years ago. So that's the story, that's the backstory as to why we're making gin. We do serve our gin at Buckingham Palace. It's been served at Lancaster House. We've done we served it at the Foreign Office. We had different servings for different events. And Will and George are going to be making some drinks and showing you exactly how we serve it at those events. How members of the royal family have tasted our gin. If you've got any questions, fire them in. Like, how did we get into Buckingham Palace? We'd be happy to answer any questions that you've got. It just feels really weird, just a one-way conversation without any feedback. We've turned the lights off. Is that better? Let us know. Or if you want the lights back on, tell us. Because obviously I don't know.
Fabulous story we're hearing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And there's 4,000 gins, and I'm going to labour this point, and forgive me for saying this. They all have a backstory. All of them. 4,000 backstories. Most of them are obviously just made up marketing stories to try and get you to buy the product. If we had not have been sued over the chimney, we would not be here today talking about
Lights
gin.
on.
We would not making gin. We had no plans to make gin. We had no idea how to make gin. We learned from YouTube videos.
Better.
Is that a bit better? Cool. Right. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your feedback.
Lights are back.
The lights are back.
Lights on,
the
yeah.
guys all standing here all just drinking, and I've got to stand here and talk. It really is very, very unfair, but that's just how business works here at this place, and I've just come to accept that. And as George would say, I'm very much at ease with that as well. So, what have we been doing during the lockdown? Well, firstly, our plumbing business has fallen off a cliff because obviously people don't want people in their homes unless it's an emergency. So we have reacted to real emergencies, but they've been few and far between. So our plumbing business has been considerably down, or massively down. Our gym business also has been massively down for the very, very simple reason no one's actually really heard of us because we're so small. We're not in supermarkets. We don't have big marketing budgets to push our brand to get it out there. The gin market is beyond saturated with 4,000 gins. I know we're in lockdown, but in normal times there will be 4,000 gins plus 2 new gins a day coming out. A day, I did say a day, that is correct. It's absolutely mental. So how do you compete in such a really crowded market? So our strategy has been really, really simple. We make small quantities. The only way to make lots of money out of this really is to get volume. Well, we're not chasing volume because the market's too crowded for that. So we're just trying to keep our gin as up market as we possibly can and play the long game. Because it's a fantastic gin. It's a very, very simple gin. The feedback is always, always amazing. The drinks that George and Will are going to make later, you can make at home. You don't need anything difficult or anything. They're not technical at all, but they are absolutely delicious. That's the only way to describe them. So during the lockdown, gin's fallen off a cliff, plumbing's fallen off a cliff. But what have we been doing? We've actually been making hand sanitizer. Now, we've posted extensively about this, and we did actually make a couple of videos. We could not get the appropriate license. One of the main ingredients to make hand sanitizer, where are we here? One of the main ingredients to make hand sanitizer is denatured alcohol. So obviously we applied to Customs and Excise, HMRC, for the appropriate license to be able to make hand sanitizer. They said it would take 6 to 8 weeks for us for them to process our application. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We've got all the facilities here behind us to manufacture, produce and sell, distribute hand sanitizer. So we were held back from red tape. So we had 2 choices. We actually do nothing and moan about it and say how ridiculous red tape is. or we break the rules, which is exactly what we did. We've been manufacturing and producing our own alcohol. As the volumes have increased, we've been supported by other companies, big companies, that have been producing product for us, and we've been buying in legitimately with all the VAT paid. There's paper trails. It's not cash. It's not dodgy. They shouldn't really be dealing with us because we don't have the license. But we have been supplying the Ministry of Defence. We've been supplying. I mean, you couldn't make this up. The NHS. We've been supplying the Met Police, Gold Command of all people. We've also been supplying the local authority. We're not going down the retail market. So lots of other gin companies are making hand sanitizer and giving it really fancy names that are gin related. We've just not done that. There's no logo on all that stuff. It just didn't feel right in a pandemic to sort of storm in and say, oh, bakery gin's here to save the day with hand sanitizer. It just didn't feel right. So we haven't done that. We've not gone down the retail market. So you won't find our products in the shops. I'm talking about the hand sanitizer now. We've been exclusively supplying, as I said, the MOD, the British Army, police, NHS. And we've done some huge volumes with the support of some very large companies that were backing us because we were getting the in on some of these fantastic places to be able to supply. I mean, the MOD has been brilliant, absolutely fantastic. So that's what we have been doing. On a positive note, in the middle of this pandemic, we've been asked to make a bespoke gin. Now, we have made a bespoke gin. That means a one-off gin. It's not for retail, for the Royal Navy. And they've come back to us, and this time they've asked us to make a bespoke gin that's going to be aboard the HMS Queen Elizabeth. That's the new giant aircraft carrier. So yeah, we'll be delighted to be doing that for them after the lockdown, and also we've been invited abroad, so that's going to be great fun. I know George will you be washing your hair that day, or do you think you'll be able to make it?
I'll have to check my schedule.
He's going to check his schedule and see if he can come on board the aircraft carrier. He's not going to get another chance. He's got to check his schedule.
You're being asked to move slightly to the left.
Right.
I think there's a spot. That's it.
Is that my left or your left?
They just said the left, so we'll find out.
Right, that was I've moved to my left. I hope that's a bit better. If not, tell me to move to my right, which is over here. Anyway, any questions? Has any questions come in, George?
Let's have a look.
I can't see them.
Right, okay.
They're coming up on here if they will do.
Okay.
I'll keep
I
an
might
eye
have
out.
some for you, hold on.
Okay.
Put that down again.
I'm drinking beer.
James Maslin says, great gin, even better shirt.
Thank you, James.
James Payton says,
James.
Dudley says hi.
Yeah, I bet he does. His real name's Avil. It's a fake name. His name's not James. His name's Avil, and that's really not a joke.
Alison Homar says she bought a bottle at Winchester Gin Festival and it's yummy.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alison.
William Galway says you can't get more upmarket than Buckingham Palace.
Way. The gods were with us on that one. We'll be talking about that when we make one of the drinks later. Any other questions?
Let's have a look.
No.
Can you make a perfect spanked basil gin, please?
Well,
Yeah, we'll be doing that next.
We're going to be doing that next. We're going to be doing that next. Okay, well, I think...
sorry, one more question. Would you consider making flavoured gins, which
No.
might lead on...
No. One of the biggest inspirations for us in terms of this, because remember, we are plumbers. That's our core business. We are plumbers. We make gin and we've got some cool customers, but our core business is plumbing. So, how do you, in any business, if you were to set up a new business doing something completely different, how do you learn? Well, the secret answer is you look to people in the industry that you're now going into that really know, and you speak to them and you say, and ask them for advice. And people are generally nice, people are generally friendly, and if you've got a specific question, they'll help you. And we've had that with Harrods, with Fortnum & Masons, but particularly Jerry's of Soho. Alan at Jerry's has been an inspiration. He helped us from day one in terms of understanding the gin market, understanding how we get the product right. And if we've got any questions, we do speak to Alan. Bless him. He won't be watching because he's grumpy and it's Saturday night and he'll be at home. I'm allowed to say that. He's my friend. He said to me about a year ago, you might want to think about launching a pink gin, and I said to him, look, with the history of our gin, you know, we've got something really special to talk about. It's really, really, really unique. The minute we start saying, here's our toffee flavoured, here's our banana flavoured, here's our raspberry flavoured, we join the hundreds, even thousands of other gins that have gone down that route. So we're just trying to make one product and make it well. We have made a pink gin. I think George and Will are going to talk about that a bit later.
Yeah.
So I'll show it to you. I'm not going to say anything about it. We have made a pink gin. I'm not going to say a word. It's absolutely fantastic. All local produce. I'll let the guys talk about that. But it's not to connect.
Oh, you're right.
Right, so I'm going to hand you over now to Will and George, and they are going to show you how we serve Old Bakery Gin at Buckingham Palace, the Foreign Office, Lancaster House. Been invited to number 10 Downing Street. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You always get a load of grief when you mention that place. And we've got a few other places there. No, I'll introduce you to George and Will. You can bring your drink with you. Go for it, guys.
Hi, hello, good evening. The first thing we'll be making is our perfect serve. It's the way it's been served at Buckingham Palace. So obviously some ice.
So why did the drink you're going to make? Why did we come up with that recipe? Why didn't we just do a slice
I don't
of
know,
lime?
I didn't come up with it.
No,
It just works really well with the gin. It's not too sweet. It's not too savoury. You get that almost slightly sort of peppery taste from the basil. It works really well. The grapefruit gives it that slight bitter edge, which is what you want for a real sort of traditional gin too.
Just going to say, with the grapefruit, don't just put it in the glass and make it look pretty. Actually give it a good squeeze so the grapefruit juice actually goes into the drink.
people can't see Will. I've moved. No, don't. They can see
Right,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, as somebody's question earlier about the basil spanking. Again, if you put the basil leaf into the drink like that, it will just look pretty. You have to actually give it the old spank. Barabasti.
How many blokes have you said that to?
Pardon?
Right.
Then,
I just need to interrupt you. Right, I need to interrupt you both. It's quite important.
Okay.
Will, can you just turn around?
No.
That's why we were late. That's why we were late.
Don't. It's terrible.
So, and then a generous Old Bakery gin. And obviously Merchant's Heart. We pair it with the floral Merchant's Heart.
I think we had a question coming earlier about what was our recommended tonic. For this one, the floral Merchant's Heart is the weird.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, we only ever really use Merchant's Heart, don't we? I mean,
We don't use anything else. It's banned. Everything else is
Everything
banned.
is banned.
It's banned.
it's so good.
Any takers on this?
I won't say no.
Fun force, I shall.
Huh.
Cheers.
So, and that is with our original, and that also goes well with the Navy Strength gin. The Navy Strength gin, they're both on our website. It's the same as the original. It's just 57%. Well, as I say, only 57%. So it's just a lot stronger. The next drink that we'll be making.
Before you make the next drink, could you just give a rundown? Just talk about the Merchant Heart tonics.
Yeah, sure.
How you would use them.
Well, the next one I'm going to use is the hibiscus, so I won't talk about that. And most of them are, depending on people's palate, whether they're sweet or savoury people when it comes to food. The floral, for me, and it's only for me, but works with pretty much everything. It works with everything. Those who like the more traditional gin and tonic and the sort of more drier taste, just go for the obviously the tonic water,
Plain.
or the plain tonic water, or the slimline if you're watching your weight, or if you're trying to avoid sugar.
One of the great things about it is they use with Merchant Heart. They use real.
There's no artificial stuff.
No,
on it,
it's real
basically.
quinine.
So
it's real quinine.
So it's real quinine, And the ones that are different flavours, so the hibiscus and the peppercorn, it's all natural. So it's not just, whereas most things you buy in the supermarket is full of colourings and artificial stuff.
Natalie's asking, is there any difference between spanking the basil and muddling it?
Well, it's more of a will question, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
say, George?
I
I think that's definitely got wills. That's definitely got wills.
It's what we've always done. I mean, it's always what we've referred to it as.
As they say in the daily briefing, can I refer to my scientific expert?
I suppose you could muddle the basil. You could, yeah, it's...
You prefer spanking though, don't you, Will?
Oh, of course. I mean, I think George does too.
So William says he's having an Old Bakery gin right now as he's watching.
Brilliant.
Wonderful.
Good
Wonderful.
stuff. Good stuff. So the next drink I'm going to move on to, so me and Ian have actually served this drink at the Foreign Office and at the Secretary of State's Christmas party last year. So this one is, again, Old Bakery gin with some ice. That'll always help. Generous amount.
Is that enough gin?
I can always put a bit more. Some fresh strawberries, and don't go shy on the strawberries. And a generous amount of mint.
We have been known to soak our strawberries in gin for our pop-up, haven't we?
Yeah, we have been known to do that. It's always a problem when somebody asks for a virgin gin and tonic or a mocktail. And with this one, the hibiscus just goes best with it. So, Old Bakery gin, strawberries, a load of mint.
And if you put a load of mint in, won't it taste really minty?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh, that's
If
strange,
you
isn't
put,
it?
with the previous drink that I made, if you put a load of basil in it, all you will taste is basil. But with the mint, it just goes really well. It's more subtle.
It's true.
So, there we have it. Our Old Bakery gin with strawberries and mint as served at the Foreign Office. Any takers on that? Don't mind if I do.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't be shy, George.
So before I go on to the next drink, I just want to tell you about the deal we're doing this evening. The promo code should be on our Facebook, and it is literally it says 10% off.
It's literally the
Yeah, the
numbers.
number, the figure 10 and the percent sign OFF. So you get 10% off our bottle of gin, and it's free delivery anywhere in the UK. And with it today, you'll get the selection. You get any gin that's on our website, and then you'll get the full selection of 5 Merchant's Heart Tonic. You've got the peppercorn, light, floral, hibiscus, and the normal tonic. If you were to go for the rum, which will be at the next drink that we're doing, you will get the ginger ale to go with the rum.
And what's special about the ginger ale?
Again, like I said with the hibiscus, it's no artificial. It's real ginger.
It's real ginger.
Real ginger.
It's not made from concentrate.
Which, you know, if you go into the supermarket and buy, I won't name the brands, but most brands of ginger ale would just be
From
artificial ginger ale.
From concentrate, yeah.
So the next drink I'll be making is using our rum. So the rum, do you want to talk a bit about the rum?
The rum is the sort of the newest one of the batch, or the newest one of the group. Sorry, it's something a little bit different. It's almost like a whiskey rum hybrid in a way.
Yeah.
So what we do is we buy in a very sort of coarse, harsh Jamaican rum, and then we redistill it. So we literally extract off all the alcohol, and then we age it again.
And what do we do with all that that alcohol that's extracted?
A lot of it goes to waste. I mean, and that's the thing, because it's we only make very, very small quantities of it, because the actual product we get at the end is only a very small volume. So what we do is once we've redistilled it and extracted off all that alcohol, we then age it in 2 separate casks. So it sits in a mead and a Mafra-Davarin cask, which is like a very sort of sweet dessert wine. We then combine it back with the original molasses we got from the rum. So you get this really nice, almost like treacle finish on. I mean, I personally, I'll drink the rum neat over ice, maybe 1 cube of ice. It's a brilliant sipping rum. George, did you want to do the drink?
Yeah, I'm going to do the drink.
This is George is going to make our signature serve.
So why did we choose mead and Mafra-Davarin? Everybody ages their rums in sherry and port casks. Why did we choose Mafra-Davarin, which is a Greek dessert wine, and mead?
Well, mead, I believe, was a Jerry's idea.
Again, absolutely.
Back in the day, and the Mafra-Davarin
Jerry's as well.
was Jerry, but also, I mean, where we are, Palmer's Green. Palmer's Green has a massive Greek.
Palmer's what?
Palmer's Greek.
Palmer's Greek.
As a big Greek community, so it's almost like it's something different. It's something really different.
It's inspired by the area where we are as well, in Palmer's Green.
And we have one of our friends, Alexander Mercouris, is watching.
Yeah.
And he's Greek, so you can give him away.
Oh yeah. Hi, Alexander. So the drink that I'm making now is our Dark and Stormy. At our gin bar, and when we introduced this at the first gin festival, this was the #1 selling drink. So you went to a gin festival, and the winner of all the various gins doing the various different perfect serves, the #1 gin at the gin festival was actually a rum. It was our Old Bakery rum.
It is delicious.
And Ian, where have we served this?
Well, you guys, go on. Where have we served it?
It's also been served at Buckingham Palace alongside the gin.
Yep. Been invited to number 10 with it.
Yep.
Foreign Office.
Served it at the Foreign Office, that's right.
And we've served it at Lancaster House. And we are in discussions at the moment with the House of Lords and the House of Commons as well.
They definitely like it in there, and they need it.
They need it.
So
they need lots of it.
Again, with Merchant's Heart, ginger ale. Again, at our most recent pop-up bars, this seems to be the #1 seller.
We've just got someone asking, do we need to wait? Do they want to place an order? Can they do it now, or should they wait till we've finished filming?
Well, we'll be finishing soon. We'll explain how to do that on our website.
Yeah, so hold off on ordering just yet.
And did you squeeze the limes in?
Yeah, no, I did. Just again with the lime, if you get a lime, put it in, it's just going to look pretty. You need to squeeze about half a lime in there, and it'll taste delicious.
Excellent. I'll just see if there's any questions. Got lots of waves.
Yeah.
Lots of waves. I don't
Give you a wave back. We got two.
Nicola Bradford saying she's going to come to the pop-up with her mum when you finally get started again. She can't wait.
Please do. Hopefully it won't be too long. Hopefully, I don't want to predict, but hopefully August or September.
Alison saying she can't wait to order.
Thanks, Alison.
Arena, Michael.
Hi, Arena.
Yeah. Hi, Arena. Arena's Michael Patillo's PA and one of his producers. Joan Sierra says, "Hi, Old Bakery Gin. What are the botanicals in your drinks?" Well, very good question, George.
Yeah, I'll tell you. It's juniper, and the other three are a top secret. All I'll say is they are. Most people think because it's a secret, it must be something weird, something unusual, something exotic. It is 3 really simple ingredients that you would have been able to get in London over 100 years ago. And we keep it to the same 4 botanicals that the bakers used to make it here where we're standing now illegally over 100 years ago. I'm sure you'll all agree it's a good gin. You can actually sip it neat. Most gins that you buy in the supermarket, or even some of the more expensive gins, you'll get a real burn at the back of the throat. It's 4 really simple ingredients. We've been advised by some experts in the industry it would be a little bit smoother, or it'd be a little bit more interesting if you add a bit of this or a bit of that. But if we added a bit of this or a bit of that, it's no longer the once illegal gin. It is the once illegal gin with a load of other stuff in it.
Yeah, it loses that heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our gin is just about heritage. So Jason, our friend Jason, our good friend Jason.
Hi, Jason.
From Merchant Heart said, looking good, chaps. I think he was talking about Will's little hairpiece.
Oh, of course.
What else could he be talking about? Your sister Nancy's joined.
Hi, Nancy.
It's really weird doing this, isn't it? Because you're just talking one way.
I told you not to watch it.
Jason has said, I hope you guys are recording this. I didn't know you could record it.
I'm sure it does, doesn't it?
Well, we'll see.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. It's the first time we've done it. Right, I think that's it for questions. So if you want to just go through the offer.
Yeah, sure.
If you want to go through the offer again.
On
our website.
On our website.
Could we tilt that camera down just a little bit?
Yeah, pink
so
gin.
we can see the table. That's it.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to mention, and it's not on our website, there is a very, very limited amount. And somebody did ask if you do a pink gin earlier. We did a one-off.
Which we can't talk about who for.
Yeah, we can't talk about who for. We've got about 50 bottles on the shelf, so it isn't actually on our website. We were doing it for... Basically everything we've got, we're going to sell at Junipalooza, the biggest gin festival, which at the moment it's a bit uncertain whether it's going to happen. It's been delayed from June going forward, hopefully to September. So fingers crossed we'll be doing that in September. But it's our pink gin. All pink gins are, as Ian said earlier, artificial. This is made with real strawberry and real black pepper. And I mean, we've got about 50 bottles of it. It's not on our website.
Explain about the colouring as well. If you put the bottle.
There's no colouring in it. So any gin that you buy in the supermarkets, any pink gin, you'll pick up any bottle, and they're all exactly the same colour because they use artificial. If you pick 2 of these bottles up, I mean, you won't see it on the camera, but there's very slight
colour
differences in the colour of these gins. I mean, you can see from there. I mean,
you can see that one's slightly
darker. I mean, it's very subtle.
Yeah.
But if you pick up any gin from a supermarket, any pink gin, every bottle...
They look the same, taste the same.
Absolutely identical.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
If you are interested in trying some of that, please just get in touch, either by email or social media. The rest of these are all on our website, and this is the original. If you haven't tried our bakery gin before, this is absolutely the one to go for. If you maybe if you've had a few bottles of this and you want to try something different, I will explain about the other ones. Again, whatever you buy, you get the whole Merchant Heart range.
Free of charge?
Free of charge, included with it, plus 10% off. The rum, which Will was explaining about, it's a really good deal with the rum. The rum is exclusive to Harrods. If you buy it on our website at the moment, I mean, obviously Harrods is closed, so we're doing a special on it at the moment with the 10% off with the ginger ale. People who like something a little bit stronger, 57% Navy strength.
So what's the difference between the standard and the Navy?
The standard is 41%, 41.4, and this is 57%. So it's a lot stronger. And again, you can still drink it neat. It's still really smooth. 57%.
Prince Charles loved it, didn't he?
He drinks it on its own, neat.
Yeah, drinks it neat.
Doesn't need.
Oops. Pardon?
This is my special. I mean, I've done
Hold that thought.
500 bottles. I don't know if you can see. It's got my mug on that. There's a bit.
Right, Will. Do you know what's in his? Do you know what the botanicals are?
George kept it secret.
No.
Yeah, no.
George is the only person that knows what's in that, and people think that we, obviously we must know. We really don't. We haven't.
I can tell you,
we haven't got a clue, have we, Trace? No.
I can tell you all, but these two will have to leave the room. But it's really good. I mean, I think this is the best gin we do, but obviously I'm biased. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
And it's 50%. It's 50%, so it's not as strong as your Navy strength. It's a bit stronger than the original, and it's got 2 extra botanicals in it. That's all I'm going to say. So that is the whole range there. It's all available.
We've got the hand sanitizers we made for the Met Police. Can we give one of those free away as well with the first 20 orders, George?
No. Yeah, of course we can. Of course we can.
Will, can we do that? I'll ask you.
Yeah,
You're more powerful.
Yeah.
You're more powerful.
Yeah, no, we can. Yeah.
Okay. So a free Old Bakery gin hand sanitizer as well. These were made exclusively for the police.
And you guys.
Brilliant. So our website is oldbakerygin.com. Use the discount code. It's a bit rubbish, but we've put it on there. It's literally just 10. If you just literally type that in, 10%, and then the word off, you'll get 10% off. You get free delivery, and you'll get the full range of Merchant Heart tonics. And big thanks to Merchant Heart as always. I mean, they've just supported us from day one. And I will actually. Can you hold that, because I just want to talk about Merchant Heart, because